Hello everyone, it's PFO with the Techers. Welcome to the second episode of Give Me an Answer. Today we're going to be discussing a subject matter that is conspicuous amongst Jews and Christians alike, but it's rather unsettling for Muslims. Is Muhammad really a prophet? I'm going to be listing out 10 compelling observations that challenge Muhammad's claim to prophethood. I'm also going to be adding 3 theological observations that challenge Muhammad's claim to prophethood. Number 1, there is no empirical test for revelation. So Muhammad claimed to receive his first revelation in century 610 at age 40 in the cave of Hira. As boisterous, as spectacular as this claim appears, there is no empirical method to prove that these experiences were supernatural rather than subjective or psychological. Because according to the law of science and epistemology, once a theory or a conjecture is proposed, it must be tested. Otherwise, it's just a mere opinion, and opinions are neither empirical nor factual. Number 2, this revelation was founded solely upon Muhammad's testimony. So the Quran was only revealed by Muhammad. Whereas, for instance, the Bible was revealed by 40 authors who lived approximately 1,500 to 1,600 years apart from each other while presenting the one and the same testimony. Unlike events that can be publicly observed and independently verified, Muhammad's claim relies primarily on his own testimony. Number 3, the earliest biography was written long after the death of Muhammad. The earliest full surviving biography, written by Ibn Ishaq and conserved by Ibn Hisham, was published over a century after Muhammad's death. This poses a problem because the time gap makes these accounts more difficult to verify independently. Number 4, the miracles purportedly performed by Muhammad are not independently documented. Islamic tradition records miracles such as the splitting of the moon. However, there are no contemporary non-Muslim sources that verify such an event. As a result, historians regard such claims as a matter of belief rather than historical fact. Number 5, some historical reports appear to portray contrasting circumstances. There's an argument that certain Quranic revelations are specific to Muhammad's immediate personal or political situations rather than serving as a guide for all Muslims to live. Should I talk about his marriage to Zainab bint Jahsh in Quran 33 verse 37? Or should I talk about the special marital privileges that were exclusive to Muhammad but not given to other Muslim men in Quran 33 verses 50 to 52? And you also have the honey incident in Quran 66 verses 1 to 5. These double standards demonstrate the lack of integrity of Muhammad and therefore the Quran. And that's an understatement. Number 6 is abrogation, also known in Arabic as naskh. What this means is that some Quranic revelations are replaced by later ones. This is conflicting because Muslims claim that the Quran is the unchanging message from God. However, according to Muslim scholars, in their defense, they believe that God's laws are revealed progressively. Muslims usually say, find me one contradiction in the Quran and I will stop being a Muslim today. You don't need to go far. I can find you 12. But let's first of all start with 2. Number 1, one of the clearest instances of abrogation is actually on the matter of alcohol. So the earlier revelation on the matter of alcohol was found in Quran 2 verses 219, where it said, wine has some benefits, but its sin is greater than its benefit. Then the later revelation in Quran 4 verse 43 now said, do not approach prayer while intoxicated. Then the final revelation in Quran chapter 5 verses 90 to 91 now said, intoxicants are an abomination, avoid them. Which one should we believe? Another clear example of abrogation is on the matter of fighting. So the earlier Meccan revelation is that Muslims were told to patiently endure persecution. You can find that in Quran 73 verse 10 and Quran 109 verse 6. So the later Medinan revelation is that Muslims now have permission to fight in self-defense. You can find that in Quran 22 verses 39 to 40. And the final revelation on fighting is found in Quran 9 verse 5, popularly known as the sword verse, which says that Muslims should kill, capture, or besiege the polytheists who broke their peace treaties after the sacred month. But they should forgive them if they repent and establish prayers. The doctrine of Nask raises theological questions about the nature of divine revelation. If Muslims believe that God's moral and legal will is perfect, why would later rulings cancel out earlier revelations? Has Allah suddenly become bipolar or confused? Number 7, dependence on earlier biblical tradition. The Quran contains many figures and narratives also found in Jewish and Christian traditions. Talk about Adam and Eve, Noah, Moses, Abraham, David, Jesus, and their stories thereof. These narratives were not documented in the era nor the geographical context of Muhammad, seeing that Islam began 600 years after Christianity and 2,600 years after Judaism. So how did he know that these were true? And where did he get the information from? He's giving derivative, he's giving copy and paste, he's giving unoriginal, he's giving plagiarism. Number 8 is historical questions about certain narratives. Some scholars contest details about the Quran's historical accounts and chronology side by side with archaeology and other ancient sources. One of those discrepancies between historical accounts and Quranic accounts is the crucifixion of Jesus. Quran 4 verse 157 says, "They did not kill him, nor did they crucify him. It was made to appear so." But history says otherwise, because practically all mainstream historians, whether Jewish, Christian, atheist, or agnostic alike, concede that Jesus was crucified under Pontius Pilate around AD 30. This deduction is supported by various independent sources such as Tacitus, Josephus Flavius, Lucian of Samosata, the New Testament, and early Christian writings. Another example of this is Haman serving Pharaoh. The Quran portrays Haman as a senior official under Pharaoh during the era of Moses in Quran 28 verse 6 and verse 38. But the problem with this is, in the Bible, Haman lived many centuries after Moses during the Persian Empire. Hence, there is no known Egyptian record of Haman in Pharaoh's court. So this is historically inaccurate. Another example of the discrepancy between Quranic accounts and historical accounts is Mary, the sister of Aaron. The Quran refers to Mary as the sister of Aaron in Quran 19 verse 28, but the historical objection to that is that Aaron actually lived 1,400 years before Mary. So once again, this is historically inaccurate. Number 9, prophetic claims cannot be falsified scientifically. This sounds similar to number 1, but Muhammad's claim to prophethood cannot be scientifically validated as it rests on a supernatural experience. He was the only one who apparently experienced this, so no one could directly observe or authenticate that experience. However, with all the observations I've listed out so far, his claim to prophethood is far beyond underwhelming. Number 10, different religions make mutually exclusive claims. According to Islam, Muhammad is the last and final prophet of God, whereas in Judaism, neither the Torah nor the Tanakh acknowledges the existence of Muhammad. Christianity does not acknowledge Muhammad. In fact, the Bible calls anyone with the message and the attributes of Muhammad a false prophet. This brings us back to the Islamic dilemma. If the Quran claims to affirm the Torah and the Injil, it means one of them must be true and one of them must be false, because they have mutually exclusive claims. So if the Torah and the Injil are true, the Quran is false. If the Torah and the Injil are false, the Quran is still false, because the Quran still depends on some of their traditions and their narratives. So if the Quran is false, that means Muhammad is not a prophet of God. All right, let me give you a bonus as promised. Three theological arguments against the prophethood of Muhammad. Muhammad denied Jesus' crucifixion. Again, as mentioned before, Jesus' crucifixion is one of the most attested events in human history. Number two, Muhammad denied Jesus' divine sonship. And number three, his message is significantly different from the gospel as proclaimed by the apostles of Jesus Christ. And you can check Galatians chapter 1, verses 8 to 9. If you've learned something, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and stay tuned for more videos on Christian apologetics and biblical exposition. Fearful with the Techers, signing out.